Yo, dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up on the literal best of all days, coming to you from the Beats Lab in Hollywood, California. We're doing it again with a Funko Pop Fallout repaint. We've been working on this model live on Twitch Tuesdays and Fridays, guys. If you haven't seen the Twitch channel, head on over. You can see amazing models like this Lord Discordant get worked up in a live format and many more. You won't regret it. So out the gate, I'm working with Mr. Hobby. I got these products from Spray Gunner, one of my new sponsors, to go over. Now, it's a weathering solution, which is an oil paint with a solvent. So what I'm showing you here, guys, I'm using a cotton swab to use the solvent to remove some excess staining from the oil. Now, I'm not going to jump the gun. Don't worry. I'll show you how I did all this. I wasn't even sure I was going to turn the camera on. So I'm using the multi-black, which is an oil. We're going to thin it down or just go raw dog. Go liberally as you want. There is no way to mess this up. I've used oils in the past. I came up doing oil painting, and I have never actually seen such a superior product in my life. Now, this isn't truly a product review. No one ever paid me to say these things. I was just sent them. They said, try it out if you want. Throw it in the trash. I don't care. So I tried it out in this Funko Pop repaint, this Fallout model. I'm just doing pin washing like we always do, okay? We use Army Painter Wash to do this all the time. So I'm a little apprehensive, a little nervous. I've never really used the oil wash on this type of model. So we're just going for it. And I'm getting kind of nervous, like, oh, it's going to stain. It's going to be too aggressive, like, you know, other inks or other oils I've used in the past, or even just like artistic oils. Let me tell you what, Mr. Hobby ain't playing games. They have advanced technology. So I'm just going crazy, just adding it. It's drying. It's staining in a very reasonable way. There's definitely some subtle elements to it, and you can do it over and over again, or you can slather it on. Since I filmed this like a week ago, I have used it live multiple times in progressively more aggressive ways and have never had it turn out bad. Now, what you saw me doing at the beginning of the video was the subtraction method. I was using a little of the solvent to remove some of the excess buildup, and it works so easily. It doesn't mess with the acrylic paint. I mean, you can go back even when it's almost dry and remove some excess staining. You can do streaking effects with it, and we're just having a blast playing with it. This is actually the first time I've used it in this video. Like I said, I've used it a few times since I made this video. I know a lot more about it, so I can come to you with a lot more advice. You don't need to be this apprehensive. You can go a little bit more aggressive. You can go with a bigger brush, slather it on. You can even use a fancy brush to subtract instead of the Q-tip, though Mr. Hobby makes really high quality, tight pack cotton swabs that work even better than a traditional over-the-counter Q-tip. So you see, I'm just kind of removing some of the excess, leaving some of the staining behind. We did this on some Blood Slaughters of Corn. I used them on some Chaos Knights. I literally used it on Abaddon, the Spoiler, live on Twitch. People were like, yo, you're going to ruin that model. Nope. It looks amazing. See, I'm just pulling down some streaks. You get a little buildup in a crevice. Just drag it down, let it dry. It looks amazing. Multi-black, Mr. Hobby, spraygunner.com. It's incredible. And since I made this video, I also picked up all the colors. So I'm really anxious to start using them all. Then we're going to just do some reverse streaking from the bottom. I'm still getting comfortable with it, but look at how amazing that looks. What I've learned, another tip, is keep a couple of brushes just to use with the oil. Because remember, it's oil, it's not water soluble. I use the solvent to clean the brush, maybe a little dish soap. I use a little Gentastic Drunken Brush Goop to revitalize the brush, just like I normally do. But definitely want to keep your brushes separate from your oil brushes from your acrylic brushes. Little tip that I picked up, kind of learned it the hard way as I was going through on my night project. So we're just going to dab some on there. Use the cotton swab that already has a bunch of solvent on it to kind of just blur it out, feather it, streak it. But I mean, even if you just left it like all aggressive and blotchy, it would dry with a pretty desirable effect. I haven't been able to make this stuff mess up. If I left it on that hard right there, it'd be fine. So like I said, when I filmed this, I was still a little bit more apprehensive. So I'm, really doing multiple passes, working my way through the steps, trying to get familiar with it. But now I've since learned, man, go nuts. I've even learned this technique where you can actually take the solvent, brush it on the surface first, and then just take a little of the multi-black and add it to that and do capillary reactions. It'll just kind of disperse in all the corners and look amazing. There's lots of ways to use these types of products, and I'm glad to bring these to you guys on my channel. And I've heard that these are very much a staple of the historical scene, the scale scene. They're not for me though, so I had a blast using these. I'm so glad I was able to turn the camera on, and this is our final result. We used all that multi-black and all the crevices to create that contrast, and this was a Funko Pop miniature that we fully repainted on Twitch, guys. Now, thanks for checking out this video, but if you didn't know, we have a swag shop, hereticswag.com, beast mode 666 for 15% off all of our gear. We're adding new shirts, new stickers, new mugs, hoodies, and bags almost weekly. So check it out if you're looking for some cool swag and to support me. I'd truly appreciate it. Anyway, guys, play on, players.